Wasn't very emotional about it at all.
A Florida teen is charged with killing his own mother. How authorities say they believe he tried to cover it up. Plus, another Florida shooting, this time at a yoga studio. What we've learned about the victims. And as early voting ends, a look at the record turnout in Sarasota County. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 11.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Taylor Torregano. Our top story, police in Florida say a 15-year-old boy has confessed to killing his mother at their home. As Matt Lupoli reports, the sheriff's office says the murder appeared to stem over the teen's grades.
Just reality was I just started crying out here because I can't imagine getting that call for her husband.
To everyone who knew her, Gail Clavenger was a kind, caring wife, mom, and friend.
Oh yeah, very compassionate. I'm going to miss her, and I think it's a terrible tragedy.
It's difficult even for Volusia County Sheriff's officials to grapple with how her life came to an end.
Wasn't very emotional about it at all.
Detectives say the victim's 15-year-old son, Gregory Ramos, strangled her, then reported her missing a day later. The two allegedly argued Thursday over his grades. Detectives say the son waited until his mother went to bed that night, choked her, got a wheelbarrow for her body, then found she was still breathing, so again choked the life from her. He drove around with her body, allegedly dumped the wheelbarrow in another town. Then deputies say he called two friends to help cover up the killing and stage a robbery at the family's home. It's those friends who helped lead detectives to a place the boys often met, a fire pit behind a church. That's where the victim's body was dug from a shallow grave.
It's heartbreaking to sit down with the family because the family's lost everything.
Detectives say after a few hours of questioning, the teenager confessed and seemed stunningly unapologetic, even proud of his plot.
No sign of remorse whatsoever. He was a soulless individual who thought he was the smartest person in the room. He also stated to us that he believes he deserved a Grammy for the way he performed with the 911 call.
That was Matt Lupoli reporting. The two friends who led authorities to the body are also expected to face charges. New details are surfacing about the shooting inside a Florida yoga studio that left 3 people dead and 5 others injured. Just minutes after a hot yoga class was scheduled to begin, shots rang out. Tallahassee police say Army veteran Scott Paul Burley walked into Hot Yoga Tallahassee on Friday evening and opened fire. Investigators say people inside the studio fought the man, hoping to stop his violent shooting spree.
There are indications that several people inside fought back and tried to not only save themselves but other people, which is a testament to their courage.
Most of them survived, but 2 women did lose their lives. They've been identified as 61-year-old Dr. Nancy Van Vessem and 21-year-old Florida State University student Mara Binkley. 5 others were injured, including 1 woman who was shot 9 times. The motive for the shooting is still under investigation. In Tallahassee today, over 100 people came out to participate in Yoga for a Cause. The event was already scheduled to help raise money for Hurricane Michael relief, but sadly it now has a different meaning after Friday's tragic shooting. The Yoga for a Cause organizer says she was glad to see community members and even some people who go to the same studio as the shooting at the event.
And I think the message is consistent that, their dedication and bravery to other people is just overwhelming. They are showing up today because they want to show their love and support. And that to me was just, overwhelming because I can't imagine the things they've gone through and they continue to think about other people.
This was the biggest Yoga for a Cause event Tallahassee has ever had. We're just 3 days away from Election Day, and over 136,000 voters have already submitted their ballots in Sarasota County. Just take a look at these numbers they were taking after polling ended tonight on the Suncoast. It shows over 48,000 Democrats and 61,000 Republicans in the county have already voted. Out of over 318,000 registered voters, that puts the turnout already over a whopping 47%. If you didn't get to it yet, you still have a chance to make your voice heard before the polls close on Tuesday. ABC 7's Erica Jackson shows us how you can vote on Election Day without getting caught up in the crowds.
Saturday marks the final day of early voting, but you still have a few options to make your voice heard before the polls close on Tuesday.
Registered voters in Sarasota County can drop off their vote-by-mail ballot to an elections office in Northport, Venice, or Sarasota before 7 p.m. Tuesday, or vote in person Tuesday at a designated polling location based on your precinct. This election is already breaking records in Sarasota County. 40% of registered voters have already cast their ballots. Early voter turnout has exceeded the 2014 gubernatorial election by about 40%. And the office has already received more vote-by-mail ballots than the 2016 presidential election. Supervisor of Elections Ron Turner says this isn't a typical midterm election.
There's a lot of interest because of the races on the ballot, the questions, and just I think there's a great focus from voters right now that want to make their voices heard at the ballot box.
Voters in Sarasota County will have to mark up a very long ballot. It's about 17 inches long. The Supervisor of Elections office recommends taking your sample ballot that was mailed to you, mark off your choices, and bring that with you on Election Day to speed up the process on Tuesday. Reporting in Sarasota County, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Erica. It's time to fall back again. The shift means it will get lighter earlier in the morning, but it will also get dark earlier in the evening. Most of us use smartphones to check the time, but you're going to have to manually change your digital and analog clocks for daylight saving time at 2 a.m. This may be the last time Floridians have to change their clocks in the fall. Governor Rick Scott has signed a bill that would allow the entire state to remain in daylight saving time year-round. But it's up to Congress to change the federal law, and they aren't expected to vote on the proposed change anytime soon. Now let's go to Wendy Ross for our first check on our first alert weather. Hi, Wendy.
Hello, and we're starting to see a couple of those temperatures getting down into the 60s. As you can see, we're looking at readings anywhere from 66 to 68 degrees with Boca Grande reporting 70 right now. That's probably one of the warmer locations, but we're starting to see some of those clouds moving on in as well, and that's because of a frontal system. This is the one that came through yesterday. It's actually going to come back up towards the north as a warm front, and that's the system that it's actually going to be bringing us some showers expected tomorrow during the afternoon hours. So this is what we're looking at right now. We've got mostly fair skies over the northern and central part of the state, but we're going to start to see those clouds moving on up towards the north. There's a few showers out here in the Gulf of Mexico, but they're having a hard time making their way onshore right now. Taylor?
Thank you, Wendy. Exactly 1 week after that deadly mass shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue, hundreds gathered for a healing service outside of where it happened.
Then God will build this world from love.
Former Tree of Life Rabbi Chuck Diamond led this morning's 45-minute service, which featured prayers, songs, and poetry. People stood with umbrellas, some weeping, mothers hugging children, and couples leaning on one another.
So for a moment, we remember the tragedy, but it cannot overshadow that this building is and will be into the future a place of joy for future generations. And we can look back on the simchas that were there, and we can smile, and we can be joyous for those occasions.
Last Saturday, investigators say Robert Bowers entered the Tree of Life synagogue just as Shabbat services were beginning. He started shooting, killing 11 people and wounding 6 others. It was the deadliest attack on Jews in U.S. history, but this weekend, people hurt by the attack are not grieving alone. Rabbi Harold Kaminker of the Jewish Congregation of Venice says last Saturday's attack was a wake-up call for people of all faiths to band together against hate.
The voice of hate speaks. It does not discriminate between different faiths and religions. It comes after all of us. We all were attacked last Saturday, last Shabbat, in Pittsburgh.
The American Jewish Committee and the Jewish Federation of Sarasota Manatee are encouraging people to attend Suncoast synagogues this weekend. The goal is to fill synagogues in a demonstration of solidarity and unity. Today, for the 20th year, Turning Points and its partners held an event called Stand Down to help homeless veterans in Palmetto. The free services ranged from transportation to the Manatee County Fairgrounds to breakfast, new clothes, showers, and haircuts. The veterans were also offered medical, dental, and eye exams. 25 local organizations participated.
I think it's important for everybody to stay in touch with who they are, and it's really important out here for a lot of these guys are homeless, and this is the only way they get in touch with the services. So it's very important for them to get here and see what's available to them.
Even judges were on site with the ability to erase the veterans' criminal records. An unusual festival wrapped up today in Bradenton. This is the 14th annual Festival of the Skeletons in the Village of the Arts. A new attraction this year involved a student sculpture featuring 400 painted tiles done by students from several schools. Organizers say it felt good to have people outside enjoying themselves in this beautiful weather.
And today just really feels wonderful. You know, there's a fall in the air, and we've got a full village of people, and they get to see what we look like on a beautiful day.
Glad to be here.
Our own ABC7's Ray Collins was the master of ceremonies of today's event. Well, still to come here on ABC7, a deadly hit and run crash in Wisconsin. What investigators say led up to 3 Girl Scouts and an adult being killed. And one Florida baby is lucky to be alive. We'll tell you about the close call next.
I was so congested, and neti pots, drugs, and nasal sprays were just not doing the job. I was sure nothing would work until I tried the My Pure Mist-Free steam inhaler. My doctor told me that steam is a really effective natural decongestant. With my little personal spa, I am free to breathe. It's the only cordless and the only ultra-pure steam inhaler. If allergies or sinus congestion is holding you back, you need to try the My Pure Mist-Free.
Get the cordless My Pure Mist at Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, Walgreens, or Amazon.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
When ABC7 declares a First Alert Weather Day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Donate today to the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund.
Now to a deadly hit-and-run crash that killed a group of Girl Scouts. It happened this morning in Wisconsin. The group had been picking up trash in a ditch when a pickup truck went off the roadway and plowed into them. The crash leaving 3 girls and 1 adult dead and critically injuring a 4th girl. The driver had initially fled the scene, but he has since turned himself in. The Girl Scouts were all wearing bright safety vests and were accompanied by several adults. A Tampa area family is grateful everyone is safe and sound after a powerful storm nearly killed their sleeping baby on Friday. The storm sent a massive tree straight into the Newport Richey home. The nursery ceiling came crashing down, missing the little girl sleeping in her crib by inches.
I see her and grab her so fast.
Now, the family will now spend tonight in a hotel, calling it a small inconvenience compared to what they could have lost. Cleanup today continued not too far from their home in Land O'Lakes. That's where a tornado ripped off a part of this roof. Neighbors who spotted the wall of wind and rain as it approached explained what it was like taking cover.
While we were in the bathroom, it sounded like a helicopter was right overhead. It just sounded like the whoop, whoop, whoop of a helicopter.
Down the street, another woman coming home from work to find the tree in her backyard had toppled over into her house. She says she's lucky. The damage could have been a lot worse and no one was hurt. Wow.
That all was from that cold front that came on through, and that frontal system is now situated over the southern part of the state, and it's going to be coming back at us as a warm front tomorrow. So again, we could get some showers and thunderstorms with the passage of that as it moves on towards the north. And so that's what we're going to be expecting to see for tomorrow. But for the overnight time period tonight, things are quiet, and that warm front, as I mentioned, is going to be moving towards the north with a very good chance of showers and the possibility of thunderstorms taking place during the afternoon and evening hours. And then, of course, because it is a warm front, we're going to be getting the winds coming in mostly out of the south and east, and that will help to keep those temperatures moving up into the 80s once again. Dew point for today was wonderful, and because of it, it felt awfully good out there with dew points in the 40s and 50s over the northern and central part of the state. That's what's going on right now. It's still very warm where the warm front is right now, that cold front that is going to be coming at us once again as a warm front for tomorrow. And temperatures at this hour are quite chilly over the northern part of the state, so that cold front helping to usher in some colder weather, 40s and 50s and even some 60s right now across central Florida. But then as you move on farther down to the south, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 70s and still some 80s in places like Key West. But for us, we're reporting temperatures in the 60s right now, and it's either 66 to 68 degrees. You can see that's true all across the region, with temperatures slightly warmer along the beaches near the water, and this is being felt all the way down to the southern part of our viewing area. And right now you can see the winds are coming in out of the northeast, as they've been doing throughout most of the day, and throughout the overnight time period we're going to see the same thing. But tomorrow, as this front starts to move on up, part of its force is going to be with those southerly winds that will help to push it onto the north. And over the next several hours, what we're looking at, beginning at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to see those temperatures back up to the mid-70s by 8 in the morning, and then as the day wears on, 82, 83 degrees. The showers are going to be coming in right around noontime, and then they're going to stay with us until about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and the possibility of thunderstorms taking place also is a very good possibility. And then after 5 o'clock, we start to see things tapering off, things quieting down. The rains are going to move farther to the north, and so we're going to be left with mostly cloudy conditions beginning at around 5. And here's that frontal system. So this is where it is right now, and you can see this beginning to move on up and shift on up towards the north. And we've been getting some clouds that have come on in throughout the day today, but you'll notice too some of these showers that are out in the Gulf of Mexico. When we take a look at radar, you'll see they're not holding together very well. But as the day progresses tomorrow, it's going to start to get very wet right over the central part of the state, so it's going to bunch up right in the middle. And here this shot is also showing, this is our European model, showing the same thing, the progression of the warm front moving towards the north. And then over the next several days, it stays quiet. And then we've got another frontal system that's going to be developing across the central part of the country. And it's going to be sweeping on through here just in time for the weekend. And so next weekend, we're going to get another bout of rain as that frontal system comes on through. And that will help to bring about some more showers for us as well. Here's the cold front, or here it is once again. You can see this whole system beginning to move on up towards the north, but remember, it's going to be during the afternoon hours on Sunday into the evening hours that we're going to be getting the rain showers. So we've got a 60% chance of rain for tomorrow with a 30% chance on Monday, and the next cold front comes in next weekend. Taylor.
Thank you, Wendy. There was something for everyone in a race this morning in Lakewood Ranch. The Care to Try Foundation had their second annual 5K run, Special Needs Dash, and 1 mile fun run. Care to Try specializes in getting physically impaired athletes out and having fun and competing. The organization was founded by a local triathlete, Greg Simony, who has helped physically impaired people in wheelchairs through races here and around the country.
Honestly, I feel like I'm just a vessel. I feel like I'm just a normal person doing what I'm supposed to do. So I don't really take the praise for it. I think by doing the right thing, good happens, and this is a testament to that.
Co-host of Good Morning Suncoast, ABC 7's Ray Collins was also the master of ceremonies for that event as well. Some of the best college tennis players in the country are competing in Lakewood Ranch this weekend. The 2018 Lakewood Ranch Dick Vitale Intercollegiate Clay Court Classic, that's a name, is taking place today and tomorrow. About a dozen men's and women's teams, including Michigan, Princeton, and Notre Dame, are here. In-state colleges like Florida State University and Florida and Florida Gulf Coast University are participating as well. Players tell us this is the weekend they look forward to all season.
We don't get to come down to Florida too often, being up north in Michigan, and it's great to get out of the cold a little bit, get down here and play on some clay, which is the only clay court tournament we play on, being college athletes, so it's good, it's fun.
Over the past 8 years, the event has raised $500,000 for cancer research. Money is raised through donations and sponsorships, and admission is free. Your winning lotto numbers are straight ahead. Stay with us.
There are lots of people who are confused about which Medicare plan is right for them.
Hey, that's me. I barely know where to start.
Well, start here with me, Karen. I'm a licensed Humana sales agent.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Karen. I'm John Smith.
Hi, John. At Humana, we know you're unique, so you have different needs from other John Smiths.
Yeah, I've always thought so.
And together, we can find a plan that's right for you.
Great. I go to the doctor a couple of times a year, and I have some prescriptions, but I'm never fully sure of what's covered and what's not.
With Humana's all-in-one Medicare Advantage plans, you get coverage for hospital stays, doctor visits, and Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable and sometimes no monthly plan premium.
Do you have any more information?
Sure. I'll get a decision guide in the mail to you today. They're free.
Finally, someone who understands the real me.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide. Call a licensed Humana sales agent today.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. You can recover. It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
I thought I was too far gone. I wasn't.
Join the Voices for Recovery. The world is a beautiful place again. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
In entertainment news, the world of jazz is mourning the loss of one of its most popular musicians. Trumpeter Roy Hargrove died after he reportedly suffered cardiac arrest. Hargrove was nominated for 6 Grammy Awards, winning 2. In addition to his solo work, Hargrove was a member of the music collective The Soulquarians. Roy Hargrove was 49 years old. A musical version of The Color Purple could be coming to the big screen. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers is developing a film version of the stage musical. Steven Spielberg will be one of the producers of the new film, along with Oprah Winfrey. The Color Purple was originally a 1982 novel by Alice Walker and told the story of an African-American woman named Celie. 2 years later, Steven Spielberg directed the first film version, which received 11 Oscar nominations. Looks like there will be a new box office queen this weekend. The Queen biopic Bohemian Rhapsody should take the top spot. Projections have it grabbing up to $35 to $40 million in ticket sales. That should be enough to knock the Nutcracker and the Four Realms by Disney in second place, followed by the Tyler Perry comedy Nobody's Fool.
Yeah, they've been talking about that movie for a long time, and apparently I guess the fellow who is I don't know who the star is, but he's supposed to be wonderful.
I haven't seen.
But no, the actor who's playing Freddie Mercury, but he's supposed to be fantastic. Yeah.
So a must-see.
Yes.
Make sure you go see it.
It sounds that way, and it will be a great day to see a movie tomorrow because we are expecting to get some rain showers during the afternoon hours with highs back up around 82 degrees.
Have a lovely rest of your evening.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Being empowered starts with getting informed, looking closer. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. But many of us don't know there are different types of breast cancer with different characteristics. That was me. Learning about the specifics of my diagnosis gave me the confidence to make informed treatment decisions with my doctor. This meant everything to me and my family. So take another look. Ask another question. Learn more at notonetype.org.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.